Bon, bonsoir à tous et bienvenue aux séances ordinaires du conseil 25 octobre 2022. On va commencer la séance avec les annonces des élus. Alors, on passe à l'élu.
Okay, good evening. For this council, I have two announcements. First one is about the ovarian cancer run. The 7th annual Cedars Run for ovarian cancer was held Sunday, October 16th. The event raised $120,000 and counting for the Dajneh Jolie Smith Fund, which was directly support the Do-Vegan project under the leadership of Dr. Lucy Gilbert. Dominique's message and hope and for perseverance is an inspiration for everyone. The second one is about our annual Remembrance Day ceremony. TMR is preparing in cooperation with the Scouts, with the Scouts Girl Guides, the Remembrance Day ceremony, which will take place Sunday, November 6th at 1 o'clock at the Peace Park, just across from the town hall. We hope that many of you will come to honor the Canadian men and women who risked their lives to preserve peace, freedom, and democracy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next, turn it over to Caroline Descalouet.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Ce soir, j'ai une petite annonce à vous déclarer. C'est par rapport à notre nouvelle application qui s'appelle BCT+. Les citoyens de Mont-Royal peuvent maintenant télécharger l'application gratuite qui s'appelle BCT+, pour être mieux connectés à leur ville. Grâce à celle-ci, l'accès à l'actualité municipale, à l'horaire des bâtiments municipaux et toute l'information recherchée sera plus facile et rapide. Consultez notre site web et mettre mise à jour vos informations. Merci.
Désolé, Caroline, maintenant. Merci. Oui?
Non, OK, je vais. Alors, bonjour. Alors, l'info construction. Un nettoyage complet des puisards de la ville de Mont-Royal a débuté le 11 octobre. C'est d'autant plus important qu'il y a beaucoup de feuilles qui tombent dans les rues. Les travaux devraient durer 3 à 4 semaines selon les conditions météorologiques. Également, vous le savez aussi bien que moi, la soirée d'Halloween lundi prochain, la sécurité publique désire vous rappeler de faire attention lundi soir et surtout les automobilistes, d'être prudents, de réduire la vitesse. Pour les enfants, essayez de les encourager à traverser aux intersections. Il y aura des patrouilleurs qui vont sillonner les rues de la ville pour s'assurer que tout va bien. Ils vont sûrement distribuer des bandelettes réfléchissantes et sûrement aussi quelques petits bonbons pour le plaisir des petits.
Merci. Daniel Pilon.
Bonsoir tout le monde. 2 petits rappels. Le premier concernant le nouveau rôle d'évaluation. Probablement que vous connaissez tous l'information, mais c'est utile de le rappeler. Il y a eu un nouveau rôle d'évaluation foncière pour l'année 2023, 2024, 2025 qui a été déposé récemment par la Ville de Montréal. Les avis d'évaluation foncière vous seront transmis par la poste à tous les propriétaires d'immeubles le 28 octobre prochain. L'avis d'évaluation vise principalement à vous informer des principaux renseignements inscrits sur le rôle d'évaluation relativement à votre propriété, ainsi qu'à préciser les modalités pour demander une correction, une omission ou une exactitude qui est inscrite au rôle d'évaluation. Le deuxième petit rappel, c'est concernant les feux de foyer. Vous savez que la Ville a adopté un règlement en 2020, le règlement 1456, qui concerne les appareils de chauffage, de cuisson d'aliments et les foyers qui permettent l'utilisation d'un combustible solide. La plupart du temps, c'est du bois. Ce règlement interdit l'utilisation à l'intérieur d'un bâtiment de tout appareil ou foyer permettant l'utilisation d'un combustible solide. La plupart du temps, c'est du bois, à l'exception d'un appareil ou d'un foyer certifié par l'Agence environnementale américaine pour que l'appareil ait un taux d'émission égal ou inférieur à 2,5 grammes par heure de particules fines dans l'atmosphère. Merci et bonne soirée.
Merci beaucoup, Maria Chamas.
Merci. Bonsoir. Je tiens à vous informer que le Salon des artisans aura lieu le 25 novembre de midi à 18h et le 26 novembre de 10h à 16h dans la salle Schofield à l'Hôtel de Ville. Make sure to save the date. The entrance is free. Also, on October 19th, the town celebrated National Seniors Day. It was a great event that reunited 90 seniors. It's great that we were able to celebrate this year. And on that, have a good evening, and thank you for being with us today.
Merci beaucoup. Je passerai à Caroline, mais j'ai déjà fait le tour, alors je passe à Sébastien Dreyfus. Merci.
Bonsoir. Just to remind you that daylight saving time ends on Sunday, November the 6th at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're going to have to turn back the clocks. That's easy because everything is almost automatic, but you also have to adjust the way you're driving in our streets because you will have less light in the evening, so be careful, please. Vaccination clinic, the flu vaccination campaign is now underway. Appointments are available only through Click Santé. So please note that there are no vaccination taking place at Town Hall this year. You can visit our website for more info. Et je vous rappelle que le concert de Noël avec temps fort se tiendra le vendredi 25 novembre à 19h à l'Église unie de Mont-Royal. Ça, c'est situé au 1800 boulevard Graham. Et vous pouvez encore consulter notre site web pour plus d'informations. Merci.
Thank you very much. Now, Sophie Séguin.
Oui, alors la Ville offre les carnets d'identification pour les personnes âgées. C'est pour assurer leur sécurité en cas d'urgence médicale. Alors, on invite les personnes âgées à venir au Centre des loisirs le premier jeudi de chaque mois, entre 10h et 11h, ou en téléphonant du lundi au vendredi. Donc, c'est un beau service. Et pour les services de notre superbe bibliothèque, il y en a tellement d'activités et la programmation est tellement enrichie au mois de novembre que je vais vous donner les grandes lignes. Donc, novembre, c'est le mois de la littératie financière au Canada. Il y a des ateliers pour les parents pour sensibiliser les enfants. Aussi, un atelier sur la protection contre la fraude et la planification successorale. Pour vous faire rêver, il y aura aussi une conférence voyage sur Tahiti. Et une conférence sur l'emballage zéro déchet. Pour les enfants et les familles, il y a toujours les activités d'Halloween qui sont là pour le bricolage dans le temps de l'Halloween. Et finalement, il y aura un spectacle pour les familles qui est gratuit, mais vous devez vous enregistrer samedi le 29 octobre à la bibliothèque. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Et bon, on fait nos excuses pour Juliade qui n'est pas disponible ce soir, mais elle nous suit sur le webcast. Elle a aussi également participé dans notre conseil, notre caucus qu'on a eu avant le conseil ce soir. Alors, bon rétablissement, Julie. Look forward to seeing you soon. I know I'll be seeing you early in the morning in our next meeting. Bonsoir à tous. Merci d'être venus nous joindre ce soir et pour ceux qui nous suivent en direct, merci de passer une partie de votre soirée avec nous. As has become the custom, I'll give you a little update of the past month's happenings in our Garden City and share some info with you. A new M&A for TMR Outremont. J'aimerais féliciter publiquement Michel Setlacoué d'être devenu notre nouvelle députée avec sa victoire aux récentes élections provinciales. J'aimerais reconnaître et remercier son prédécesseur, Pierre Arcan, résident de Mont-Royal et ancien député, qui a honorablement servi notre district au cours des 15 dernières années. Avec les nombreux grands projets qui nous attendent, nous avons déjà eu l'occasion de parler, Mme Setlacoué et moi, et nous nous sommes assurés de travailler en étroite collaboration et de trouver des moyens de faire avancer nos dossiers qui nécessitent l'appui du gouvernement provincial. École primaire. Comme vous le savez tous, le dossier scolaire a été mis en pause car la CSSMB nous a informé qu'il examinait ses projections et ses besoins futurs. On nous dit qu'ils nous reviendront à la fin du printemps, l'été, à peu près 2023. Je désire toutefois vous faire part d'une information supplémentaire que nous avons eue de la part de la CSSMB concernant le site du Mille-Lucerne, site qui revient souvent de la part de résidents comme un site approprié et désiré pour une nouvelle école. Selon une lettre reçue récemment, le CSSMB nous informe que ce site est non approprié pour une école et ne rencontre pas leurs besoins. Quartier sportif. Pour le quartier sportif, nous avons eu des rencontres en caucus et avons discuté longuement de divers scénarios et propositions. Nos discussions vont continuer dans les jours qui viennent dans le cadre de nos réunions budgétaires. I'm hopeful that we will have proposals to present to you in the coming weeks or months. 2023, le budget et le PTI planification. En ce qui concerne le budget 2023 et PTI 2023 à 2025, nous sommes en rencontre de travail avec l'administration cette semaine et la semaine prochaine. We have many hard decisions to make and choices to face, and are continuing our work in order to present a balanced budget that meets residents' expectations with respect to services and their capacity to pay. Adoption for both the operating budget and capital works programs is set for December 13th. The new tax rate will be made public at that time. Chamber of Commerce and the Gala Alpha. Last Thursday, the TMR Saint Laurent Chamber of Commerce held its annual Gala Alpha, an event to recognize and honor the business community of TMR and Saint Laurent. Not only was the event very well attended, approximately 350 guests were there, but 6 TMR companies were recognized by the jury for their achievements and contributions. Especially to be remarked upon is Ultra Electronics, who received 2 prizes, including the most prestigious title of the evening, Business of the Year. As a businessman myself, I realize the hard work and energy and consistent enthusiasm required to achieve business success. I would like to congratulate all nominees and our TMR winners. How best to benefit from our public security? Our Public Security Department offers many services to residents to help residents increase the safety of their homes and thus help reduce crime. Vacant home verification is one of them. We offer a service for vacant home verification, including picking up the mail while the resident is away. We also, upon request, will give a personalized service to help evaluate the security of the home and give suggestions on how to improve it. For those residents with an alarm system who can take part in our program, whereby public security is the first contact for the alarm company to call in case of an alarm signal at the home. Burinage de vélos. Pour aider à réduire le vol des vélos, nous offrons un service gratuit pour faire graver les vélos avec un numéro d'identification. Surveillance de quartier. En 2018, un programme de surveillance de quartier a été lancé et nous sommes toujours heureux que de plus en plus de résidents se joignent à nous et soient les yeux dans leur quartier pour détecter toute activité suspecte. Pour tous les services ci-dessus, nous vous suggérons de contacter notre agent de relations communautaires, Daniel Laporé, à la sécurité publique. 110th year anniversary of TMR, 110 years. On a more festive note, I wish to advise residents that as the town is going to be celebrating its 110th anniversary this year. We will be holding winter fireworks on Saturday, December 3rd at Daniluk Park to mark this milestone. Ces feux d'artifice hivernaux seront une première pour la ville et sont planifiés pour coïncider avec nos activités de Noël. Autobus de Père Noël et éclairage du sapin devant l'hôtel de ville. We hope the weather will cooperate and we all celebrate together the town's anniversary and kick off the holiday season. Je vous remercie de votre écoute et je vous souhaite un bon conseil. Thank you for joining us tonight and hope we have a great, and those especially watching us virtually. And now we go into the formal part of our meeting. Alors, avec ça, je demande pour l'adoption de l'ordre du jour.
Oui, donc, mais par contre, avant, il y a 2 petits changements proposés à l'ordre du jour.
Oui.
Nous proposons d'adopter l'ordre du jour de la séance ordinaire de ce soir, sous réserve d'ajouter le point 7.1, intitulé « Demande au gouvernement fédéral de reconnaître la valeur écologique et la biodiversité des terres appartenant au gouvernement fédéral, communément appelé Golfe d'Orval, incluant le champ des monarques. Et l'ordre du jour est proposé aussi en retirant les points suivants, donc en retirant les points 8, 9, 12 et 16.
Merci beaucoup. Alors, Merci.
Ça marche pas. Ah, j'appuie.
Merci. Alors, je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. Approuvé à l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup. Merci, Monsieur le greffier. Bon, on passe au prochain item. Bon. On passe aux périodes de questions. Alors, comme toujours, s'il vous plaît, la période de questions va prendre, on a alloué 30 minutes pour cette période de questions. So therefore, please make your question brief and clear, and so you can get an answer, and other people can ask their questions. And you can identify yourself first, please.
Kathy Ely, Mount-Royal Municipal Association. Do you want my address as well? No?
No, we had made that voluntary last time around, but you have to give your address, and we're going to put it on.
Okay,
our paper.
it's 157.
You have to write it down.
Avenue.
You can write it
Tell
down.
you? Okay, okay, I just
That's right.
told you, so there we go. Okay, about 1 year ago, the indoor parking complex was pretty well finished. There were some technical things, but now it has been open for almost 2 months, maybe. I have to let you know, I've driven through it several times just because it's such an inspiration. It was donated by the Rossi family. You can drive through any day. You don't need an appointment. You don't have to have a reason. You can just drive through for fun and be inspired by what can happen. We've probably got the best indoor parking of any of the sports centers that I know of in Montreal. It was extraordinary, and they deserve a lot of credit, and please drive through and see it. It's amazing. Now it's almost a year since this council was elected, and I know you referred to the Sports and Community Center, and I've pointed out many times that you said you were for it in a full-page ad before the election. My question, what actual progress has been made since the election about the Sports and Community Center?
So to answer your question, Mrs. Ely, and it comes back to the same thing. We have been working on, there was an initial version of a sports center that was proposed a couple of years ago, and there was a new vision that was proposed to Town Council, and we've discussed it in caucus. We've gone through several iterations of the new vision. We had one of the final iterations presented to caucus last week, and we gave caucus the time to review it along with budget estimates and timing. And the caucus and I, the council members and I, will be discussing this over the course of the next few days as we do our budget planning and our long-term planning, triennial plan.
Does this plan combine the sports and community center?
Yes.
Are you still planning to build beside the community center?
Well, beside which community center?
Our recreation center?
To build beside it or next to it?
That's what you were saying. You said people can go in and out of the recreation center while the project begins.
I don't remember saying that. So, but whatever it is, once we've decided on the final layout of the plans, which architectural work has been done, pricing has been done, we'll be able to share that with the population before going forward.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brian Morton, 145 Graham.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your name.
Brian Morton,
Thank you.
145 Graham.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Verdi, I understand that item 16 has been pulled from the agenda.
16? Yes.
That's why I was here to address that item. What is the intent of the license reader system, and who will be operating it?
Well, the item has been removed from our agenda, and the reason why we removed it from the agenda is because council members wish to discuss it in further detail during the next few days, and so we're going to be taking the time to review it and Generally, the reasons for a license reader system is for security reasons, and I think once we have the full details on it explained to us, council will be in a position to either put it into effect or not.
Because my concern is that a system like that should only be in the hands of a law enforcement officer, not public security, not civil servants. If you're equipping a police car with a license reader system, I understand. I don't like it, but I understand it. But in the hands of civil servants, there's a privacy concern and a big one. So if you are planning a system outside of the law enforcement community, then I think you better look very hard.
Well, I can assure you that whatever decision that we make as a council will be within the law and will respect residents' privacy rights, period.
I don't want to become Great Britain, is what it comes to.
You don't want to what?
I do not want to become Great Britain with their cameras and license readers everywhere. Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome.
Mr. Mayor, Councillor, Farid Tannous, 708 Lanark. I'm here representing Mont-Royal Municipal Association, and we're going to have our 90th anniversary after the town is going to have their 110th anniversary.
Did you say 90th anniversary?
90th anniversary.
Of the Mont-Royal Municipal Association?
That's correct.
Okay, cool.
So I'd like to highlight for people who are not aware that the Dalle Park or le trait d'union entre les deux bridges in between the east side and the west side of our town is the idea. And the Mont-Royal Municipal Association, we promote this for too long, for years and years and years. So finally, we have it now. Si maintenant on a le lien entre les deux parties de la ville, n'oubliez pas, à cause du REM, on a perdu beaucoup d'espace de stationnement du côté est de la ville. Alors, il faudrait penser à faire quelque chose pour encourager les commerces et aussi les citoyens. So, one is the intention of the council and the administration to have these parking spaces back again to the citizen and the business.
Are you referring to the parking spaces where il y a des roulottes pour le REM, etc.? Vous parlez de cela?
That's correct.
Il y a
Part of it,
Pardon?
Part of it, REM is taking care of until 2024 or 2025, who knows. But the other part, they can liberate it for the citizen and the commerce.
Yes, well, there's a demobilization that's going to be taking place by the REM, the schedule of which I don't have the full details of just yet. But we have bits of it, and we have been meeting with them to be able to clear up the area and free up the center of our town of Mont-Royal as soon as possible.
I don't understand, Mr. Mayor. Can we expect an answer for next council meeting?
I can give you a partial answer right now with Mrs. Couch.
Within the coming weeks, the part on Dunkirk is going to be opened near Pizzaiole. They still have some work to do, and then they will be doing repaving work, and that area is all going to be reopened, so access will be given. At the same time, and within the next couple of weeks, the parking that is on the east side along the train tracks facing Dupont et Dupont is going to also be liberated. The fence or the barricades that are there will be removed, And the only portion that is going to remain still not accessible is going to be the portion near Couche-Tard. Because the REM, even though their major work is finished, there is still work that will continue on the inside and with respect to the station. So they still need to have an access and where to park vehicles and have delivery of materials. So in a sense, there's 3 areas that are blocked. 2 of them will be freed up, and the area on Kenora is the last one that will stay.
Complimentary question, please.
Pardon me?
Complimentary.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, do you have any idea about the time frame? Because to follow the REM, it's not tomorrow.
The email I had is that it's in the, during the month of November, it will all be done.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bonsoir, mon nom est Dominique Dekers, j'habite au 604 Algonquin. J'ai 2 photos que j'aimerais bien partager avec vous, Monsieur le maire, et le conseil. Est-ce que je peux les apporter?
Oui, allez-y.
Alors, ce que vous avez entre vos mains, ce sont des photos que j'ai prises la semaine dernière durant un cours de gym au centre récréatif. Comme vous pouvez voir, il y a de la peinture qui pèle sur les murs, il y a des tuiles au plafond qui sont totalement, soit qui manquent ou qui sont tachées. J'étais très contente d'apprendre que vous êtes en train de regarder votre budget. And I guess my simple question would be, in your budget, could you find a bit of money to paint the room and replace the tiles in the ceiling? It is really not nice to go to gym class and have that type of atmosphere.
That's a great question. It's a great suggestion, and I can assure you that it doesn't look like a huge expense, and I'm sure council around the table will be very comfortable in approving an expense to fix that up.
Thank you.
How's that? For quick action.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bonjour, Monsieur le maire et les conseillers, messieurs et mesdames les conseillers et conseillères. Mon nom est Karine Aloul et j'habite au 23-25 chemin Fleming. Donc, ma question est la suivante. Quelle est la politique de cette administration vis-à-vis de la préservation des espaces verts à Ville-Mont-Royal, compte tenu qu'il ne reste que 2 sites zonés institutionnels, soit le site du Saint-Lucerne du côté ouest et l'église Saint Peter's du côté est. Donc, juste savoir votre politique par rapport à ça.
Ces 2 sites, présentement, appartiennent à une compagnie qui est propriétaire. Dans le cas de Saint Peter's, je ne sais pas si c'est encore finalisé, l'achat de ce site avec l'Église, sauf que ce que je sais, dans le cas de 1000 Lucerne, ça appartient à cette entreprise. Et dans le cas de développement, on n'a aucune idée. Il n'y a rien qui a été éprouvé par ce conseil pour le moment. Il y avait eu des demandes de développement, je sais, pour Lucerne. Il n'y a rien qui se passe pour le Saint Peter's. Alors, je n'ai pas de réponse pour ça. Dans le cas de notre ville, et les espaces verts, etc., nous avons à Ville-Mont-Royal à peu près 233 1000 mètres carrés d'espaces verts à Ville-Mont-Royal repartis sur 33 parcs. Alors, on a beaucoup, et puis on est très chanceux et on bénéficie beaucoup de ça. Mais et vraiment, l'apparence, quand on le voit d'un avion, on voit, c'est comme un forêt, qu'on voit ça d'un avion et on passe à travers. Alors, pour nous autres, la qualité de vie et ce qu'on appelle cité-jardin, on veut conserver ça, c'est sûr et certain. Et il y a une évolution qui va prendre place dans le futur et on ne sait pas. On a une planification, on revisite notre plan d'urbanisme pour les prochaines 5 ans. Et avec l'aide de conseils et les conseillères et les expertises sur le conseil d'urbanisme et architectes, etc., c'est sûr qu'on va prendre les meilleures décisions dans les intérêts de notre cité-jardin.
Non, merci, mais c'est ça. Donc, ça démontre justement l'urgence de développer une politique vu qu'il reste...
Oui, absolument. Il faut avoir une politique sur laquelle on est tous sur la même longueur d'onde.
Merci.
Ramassé. Merci.
Bonsoir. Paula Killian, 249 Portland. Okay, so we all got the news. The CSSMB has put multiple projects on hold in their territory, including the École secondaire Mont-Royal and, of course, the new Francophone school. However, regardless of the fact that they anticipate continued drop in enrollment in their schools, today there is a distinct lack of quality for the school children, particularly of the academy, from what I understand. And it is, right now there are still the modules. So my first question is, in the letter, Monsieur Bertrand said that he anticipates removing the modules at some point. Do we have an idea of the time frame for that? That's my first question. And my second question is, is it possible for the town to continue the dialogue with Mr. Bertrand in terms of ensuring that that the school children, again, particularly of the academy, from what I understand, the building is in desperate need of renovation. They don't have a schoolyard, and to really make this a priority, because regardless of what happens in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, today there is a problem. And perhaps, I don't know how that would work and who you'd have to ask, but is it possible to reallocate at least a portion of the $25 million towards renovating that building?
So to respond to your first question, in terms of the modules, the classroom modules, there is a plan to remove them. I don't believe it's going to be this year, but I believe it's probably going to be my suspicion is, from what I understand, and I still have to further validate that with the CSSMB, is that I believe, based on the numbers that they're projecting going forward, that they'll be able to remove some next summer and therefore provide greater school grounds for the children to play in. Regarding the renovation work and the updates of the gymnasiums and the areas in the schools themselves, I have requested that they put funds toward that, and they have agreed to do that. So today, I did receive an email from the CSSMB. I'm not in a position yet. I want to make sure I go through it because it came very late today, just before my caucus meeting, and I want to make sure I go through it and review it with Mr. Bertrand and his team, and make sure all of the points are very clear and respect what our understanding is. So, yes.
Oh, that is good news. Great,
Yeah,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Rami Saleh, 1405 Chemin Lucerne. This is my first meeting. In your introduction, you did mention that the school board ruled out the 1000 Lucerne to be, in the future, even considered to become a school. So do I assume that the problem of the contractor building the townhouses is going to be our next issue for that specific location?
I have no idea. I can't predict that. I have no idea.
Okay, and just for my own curiosity, and I might be very naive to this, we did mention this when I met you during election time with some of your fellow colleagues, is when a contractor buys a piece of land that is that expensive, was there some reassurances from the town that they will be able to build something? I was very curious to see if, once you assume your post, if somebody looked back and saw what was the promise that was made to that contractor. And the reason why I'm concerned is because I live on that street, and over the last 3 weeks, they did a small construction on Lucerne and Kindersley, which caused a havoc. So I cannot even imagine if somebody is going to build townhouses in that area, what could be the implications of our town?
If there were townhouses in the area?
Yep.
It's construction. If there were townhouses put there, it would be a construction project that would go on, similar to what you see in that, I guess they call it a golden triangle, which is just off of Jean Talon, et cetera. There's a lot of new condos that have gone up there, new development, new buildings, similar to what you see that has gone on on Plymouth and Lucerne areas. I know that the plan originally proposed by the developer for that area because they did have a public information session, contemplated, I don't know, some 50 or 60 units.
65.
Yeah, and as far as I know, it's a question of whether council and caucus, if it fits into our urban planning needs, and if it fits the needs of our community. As far as any promises that were done from previous councils, I have no idea if any promises. I don't have anything documented that says, yes, if you do this, that, and the next thing it'll be approved. I wasn't part of that council.
So do I assume that this issue is on hold at the moment with the contractor?
We have not received, we have not received any requests for zoning changes or development on that particular property. Right now, the property is vacant.
Correct.
I think it's a hazard, as it is now. I think it's a real problem when you look at it. It's an eyesore. There have been trafficking of vehicles behind there. There have been police raids. There's contamination in the area. I know from, but I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the residents feel that right now, that live in the area, they say, we don't want any condos. What can I say? I mean, thank you.
Bonsoir. Hello.
Bonsoir.
Katia Rizhikova, also 1405 Chemin du Cerne.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Katia Rizhikova, R-Y-Z-H-I-K-O-V. I'm here tonight to represent, I'm a mother of 3 kids, all under 5, and I'm here to represent some of the mothers and families that recently been struggling. I don't know if it's been brought to your attention with the recreational center, the way the things are run, the way things are organized. We've been struggling for a couple of years, and we've tried to address it on our own, speaking directly to the people at the rec. It hasn't landed anywhere, and it's gotten worse and worse over the years. So I remember last town hall, you mentioned that kids are your priority. So I was wondering if you'd be able to set up a committee which would look into the rec, and more specifically the way the system runs, the online system that's currently outdated, horrible, to see what can be improved. There are a lot of parents, a lot of mothers that I speak to on a regular basis that are very interested in helping, taking part in that, to secure great activities for our kids. So I'm just wondering if you'd be able to set up a committee like that, given the interest of many families.
So just to understand you a little bit better, what is your ask? You're asking that the operations of the current recreation center are inadequate, or their information systems are inadequate, or enrollment, it doesn't work?
All of the above.
All of the above, okay. And so...
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, all right. So...
We've been trying to speak to them directly, to be honest, and having so many small kids, I am there almost daily. And we've been trying to give suggestions, speak to people face-to-face there, because through emails, sometimes we don't get clear answers, just kind of generic emails. So at this point, it's kind of boiling over where I'm here with 3 small children at 7 p.m. trying to see what we can do. And I know a lot of parents can't make it here to address their concerns.
Sure, fully understand. So let me ask you a question. Did you come up with a list of concrete recommendations that could be implementable?
Yes.
Great. Did you send them into the...
I spoke to them face-to-face at the rec center, yes.
Okay. So maybe the best thing to do is, would you mind sending those recommendations in to us, and then I will make sure that they get followed up on.
So that would be a no to the committee, or?
No, I didn't say no to a committee, but I first have to see what you're recommending. Maybe there's no need for a committee.
Well, I think the committee would be able to first maybe give parents an outlet to actually come and address, because a lot of parents have a lot of concerns and issues, but they don't know where to go, who to speak to. So a committee would be a perfect place to actually parents to get together. As you can see, there's a lot of kids in town. So it'd be a great place to actually get a greater picture of what's working, what's not. Instead of just me sending email again, there's a lot of people that are interested. So that's why we're looking at a bigger scale situation where we can get involved.
Okay, well, what I'll do is I will then, see, first of all, you have to have a reason to set up a committee, and you have to have the right people around the table, okay?
Agreed, yeah.
Let's face it. Sometimes you get a committee of a whole bunch of people, and it just becomes a reason for people to find an area to vent, as you just said. And that's not efficient.
I agree.
A lot of people don't have...
We want to be efficient, yes.
A lot of people don't have a lot of time. So you want to come up with some concrete, you have to find real problems. You have to say, okay, these problems can be addressed this way, and is it feasible to do it or not? Do we have the resources to do it or not? So it's all those questions you want to ask yourself, for sure. But that's why I'm saying, if you send a list and with your name and your contact, we can get back to you and say, okay, this is reasonable, maybe you got a form and we can get some information and feedback from you. It's not a no, it's just to understand a little bit better what the concerns are.
So can I get other parents? Everybody drafts an email? It's just, I'm
Sure,
not
why don't
only
you,
for myself.
my recommendation is consolidate it into one email so it
Yeah, and
becomes
send it-
efficient.
Okay.
Yeah, so you already are in touch with these people,
Mhm.
and then we can take a step forward from there.
Okay, perfect.
I think that will be, that's a good way to start the process.
Perfect. Okay,
What do you think?
thank you.
You're welcome. So I'll expect an email from your group. Right.
Just to second the comment on the registration system.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you because you got to speak in the mic.
I'm agreeing with your comment on the registration system.
Okay, good.
Fix it. It does not support modern technology, etc.
Okay. Thank you.
Bridget Mack, 900 Marlborough. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to follow up on what Katia asked you. We need citizens committees. We really, really do. We had them a long time ago. It gave residents the opportunity to speak, to be heard. I encourage you and all council members to take serious consideration in regards to that. We've got so many issues at stake in the town. I think that if residents were involved in committees, as it was done many, many years ago, there was an announcement in the local paper, people were invited to put in their candidacies, there was sports and leisure, there were art, there was, well, Ava, you remember when we had those, and they were great. We made wonderful decisions together, and it empowered residents, and I think we're at crossroads right now, and we need that. So I invite you all to think about it. And in regards to registration at the rec, I was just at a volunteer center meeting just before at 6 tonight, and we're selling tickets for the Christmas concert. It's a fundraiser for our committee. And I was quite shocked to learn that we cannot buy those tickets online. We have to reserve them and then show up the day of the event and then buy the tickets. And I was thinking, we're almost in 2023. What is this? Why can't we just buy a ticket? If you can buy a ticket for a fundraiser for any event, why is it that in a town such as the town of Mount Royal, we cannot buy a ticket? And I found out that it's the same thing for Breakfast with Santa, for Halloween event. We should be able to do all that online. It would reduce the frustration for everybody. And I'm not an IT specialist, but I don't think you need to be rocket.
So to answer your question, what you don't know is that we are revamping our whole technology system, and everything has to kind of work together, dovetail together. So you got to make sure that the accounting system in the Treasury picks up the transactions that are going on in sports and leisure recreation, that go on in the library, that go on in various departments' expenses. And it is basically an infrastructure project that we're doing. Not only are we revamping that, we're revamping our website, we're revamping our communications to citizens. So all of that is to come. I wish we could flick a switch and say it's going to be done tomorrow, but I know we have council members working on it. They're sitting here at the table, smiling very happily over there. So, and a few others, so we are definitely on it.
Great, so that's for the tickets. But I would really, really like, and I know I'm not the only one, to hear you and your councillors commit to considering setting up residence committees.
Yeah, I tell you what, I agree with you 100%. You want to be able to canvass residents as much as you can. There is, I'm sure you recognize the fact that we are 8 new councillors and a new mayor around the table. And you know, in your first year of getting along, you got to get along first before you start getting along with everybody outside of the council members and caucus and all that stuff. So as we found ourselves and have found ourselves in the first year and start to understand each other and trust each other in the process, then we can go out and say, okay, who are the best people that we can get on committees and what type of committees do we really need to be effective, okay? Everybody has a shortage of time. Everybody's missing time. Not everybody can sit in multiple committees at all the time. But we do have a commitment to make sure that we do canvass residents and citizens and want to put together some committees because we made a commitment to that and going forward. And we'll do it in the most efficient way possible because I don't want it just to become a social session. It's got to be, something good has got to come out of it and productive.
You were elected 12 months ago, so you're not new. You were elected 12 months ago, so you're not, in my mind, all new and getting along. If you were able to mandate different people to different committees, such as the CCU and so on, those committees that we had in the past, we had disagreements. Sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't. There was one councillor, one representative from the town. Ava sat on most of them, and it went well. And you're hearing it, and you're talking about time management. I bet that you would probably receive, all of you would receive fewer emails if you had citizens committees, and then there would be follow-ups in that case because residents would feel empowered and they would feel that their questions are addressed. Anyways, I'll rest my case on that, but I'd like you to commit to considering it and follow up before the end of the year, please.
You're welcome. All right, thank you. So that ends our question period, and we move into l'ordre du jour. Alors, on a eu l'adoption. Là, on a l'adoption du procès-verbal de la réunion ordinaire du 20 septembre 2022 à la réunion extraordinaire du 29 septembre 2022.
Oui. Donc, attendu que copie du procès-verbal de la réunion ordinaire du 20 septembre 2022 et de la réunion extraordinaire du 29 septembre 2022 du Conseil municipal ont été remises à chaque membre du Conseil dans le délai prévu à l'article 333 de la Loi sur les cités et villes, le greffier est dispensé d'en faire la lecture. Il est donc proposé au Conseil d'adopter le procès-verbal de la réunion ordinaire du 20 septembre 2022 et de la réunion extraordinaire du 29 septembre 2022 du Conseil municipal de Ville-Mont-Royal.
Je propose cette résolution.
J'appuie.
Merci beaucoup. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. À l'unanimité, merci. Bon, prochain item, c'est le dépôt des deux documents.
Donc, ce soir, nous déposons les documents suivants. Tout d'abord, la liste des commandes de moins de 20 000 $, la liste des commandes de moins de 50 000 $, la liste des achats sans émission de bons de commande, la liste des chèques et des dépôts directs, le rapport du service des ressources humaines, un rapport sur les permis et certificats et finalement le rapport sur les états comparatifs des revenus et des charges.
Merci beaucoup. Prochain item, c'est la radiation des comptes à recevoir de la Ville de Montréal.
We submit to council to write off from the town's books the sum of $350 representing part of the fees imposed to Leonidas for the operation of a terrace café, and to write off the sum of $269 from the town's books representing the interest and penalties claimed from the Centre de service scolaire Marguerite Bourgeois for the payment relatively of a receivable.
Je pose la résolution. J'appuie.
Merci. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. À l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup. Prochain item, ratification des débourses pour la période du 1er septembre au 30 septembre 2022.
We submit to council to confirm and approve the disbursements for the period between September 1st to September 30th, 2022, as follows. Payroll, $2,066,392. Suppliers and other payments, $2,022,953. Insurance, $62,233. Financing costs, $157,414, for total disbursements amounting to $4,308,992.
Je propose.
Merci. Secondaire. Un secondaire.
Je vais seconder.
Merci beaucoup. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. À l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup. Prochain item, c'est 7.1, qui est une résolution demande au gouvernement fédéral de reconnaître la valeur écologique et la biodiversité des terres appartenant au gouvernement fédéral communément appelé Golfe d'Orval, incluant le champ des Monarques.
Donc, attendu qu'au nord de l'aéroport international Pierre-Éliott Trudeau de Montréal se trouve un précieux écosystème intégré de 215 hectares de terres humides composées de champs, de forêts et de marais, qui est la propriété du gouvernement du Canada et qui est loué à Aéroport de Montréal, donc ci-après ADM. Ces terres sont situées partiellement dans l'arrondissement de Saint-Laurent de la ville de Montréal et dans la cité de Dorval. Attendu que cet écosystème intégré de terres humides comprend le champ des monarques, important sur le plan écologique, utilisé par les papillons monarques pour se nourrir et se reproduire pendant leur migration vers et depuis Montréal, une ville ayant le statut de ville amie des monarques niveau or. Attendu que le champ des monarques a été gravement endommagé dernièrement et que l'ensemble de l'écosystème des 215 hectares est lui-même menacé de fragmentation et finalement de destruction, attendu que plus de 200 espèces d'oiseaux ont été recensées sur les terres fédérales mentionnées ci haut, ainsi qu'un grand nombre d'autres animaux qui font de ces 215 hectares un centre de biodiversité. Attendu que les villes de l'île de Montréal s'efforcent ensemble de combler le déficit d'espace naturel protégé par rapport aux autres villes canadiennes et que ce dernier grand écosystème marécageux et fluvial composé de 215 hectares d'habitats fauniques rares est de la taille du parc du Mont-Royal. Attendu qu'en décembre 2021, le ministre de l'Environnement et du Changement climatique a été mandaté par le premier ministre du Canada afin de s'assurer que tous les Canadiens aient accès à des espaces verts et en particulier de créer au moins un nouveau parc urbain national dans chaque province et territoire avec un objectif de 15 nouveaux parcs urbains d'ici 2030. Attendu que l'ensemble des terres fédérales, dont cet écosystème est le dernier du genre à exister sur l'île de Montréal, et c'est pourquoi elles font partie du patrimoine naturel qui mérite d'être protégé pour tous les résidents de l'île de Montréal. Il est donc proposé au Conseil de demander au gouvernement du Canada de reconnaître la valeur écologique et la biodiversité des terres appartenant au gouvernement fédéral au nord de l'aéroport international Pierre-Éliott-Trudeau, soit les lots 3, 4 et 5 situés dans l'arrondissement de Saint-Laurent de la ville de Montréal, ainsi que les terres communément appelées Golfe d'Orval, incluant les champs des monarques situés dans la cité de Dorval, le tout loué à ADM. De demander au gouvernement du Canada, par l'entremise de Transport Canada, d'aviser et d'exiger d'ADM de cesser immédiatement tout développement sur ces terrains. De demander au gouvernement du Canada, conformément à son objectif déclaré de créer ou de contribuer à la création d'un parc urbain au Québec d'ici 2030, d'assurer la préservation et la conservation de ces terres fédérales à perpétuité, et ce, pour les générations futures. De demander au gouvernement du Canada de travailler avec l'arrondissement de Saint-Laurent de la ville de Montréal et la cité de Dorval pour sécuriser comme un héritage pour les générations futures et partie importante du réseau des parcs urbains sur l'île de Montréal. Et finalement, de transmettre cette résolution au ministre fédéral des Transports, au ministre fédéral de l'Environnement, à tous les députés fédéraux représentant les circonscriptions sur l'île de Montréal et à tous les maires et conseillers élus dans toutes les villes de l'agglomération de Montréal.
Merci. Ça, c'est la version courte.
Je propose cette résolution.
J'appuie cette proposition.
Merci beaucoup. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. Appuyé à l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup. Bon, prochain thème, ça va être plantation et entretien horticole des terres pleines.
We submit to Council to authorize an expense of $286,286.26, taxes included, for 2023 for the maintenance, for the planting and horticultural maintenance of medians, including all accessories costs as needed, to authorize an expense of $286,286.26, taxes included, for 2024 and 2025, plus the costs associated with the application of the CPI for the planting and horticultural maintenance of the medians, including all accessory costs as needed, to award to the company 9190-8673 Québec, Inc., les entreprises Rose-Neige, Inc., the contract for this purpose at the unit and lump sum prices submitted in the amount of $286,286.26, taxes included, for the period from March 27 to November 24, 2023, and at the same amount but adjusted according to the increase or decrease to the CPI for each of the subsequent periods from March 27 to November 24, 2024, and March 27 to November 24, 2025, all in accordance with the tendering documents. and to charge the expenses to this contract, related to this contract to the operating budget of 2023, 2024, and 2025. For the years 2024 and 2025, the credits required for this purpose will be maintained in the town's budgetary envelope.
Thank you.
I move this resolution.
Thank you.
J'appuie cette proposition.
May I have a vote, please? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Additional expenses, replacement of 2 air conditioning units, Schofield Hall.
Donc, il est soumis au conseil d'autoriser une dépense supplémentaire de 3 600 $ et 47 sous, taxes incluses, pour le remplacement de 2 unités de climatisation à l'hôtel de ville à la compagnie 9338-1838 Québec Inc., faisant affaire sous le nom HUL, EGE, comprenant tous les frais accessoires le cas échéant, et d'imputer cette dépense au règlement d'emprunt numéro E-1802 et amorti sur une période de 20 ans.
Je propose.
J'appuie.
Merci. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. Appuyé à l'unanimité. Merci. Bon, travaux d'inventaire des arbres publics.
Il est soumis au conseil d'autoriser une dépense de 64 564,21 en 2023 pour l'exécution du contrat pour les travaux d'inventaire des arbres publics comprenant tous les frais accessoires le cas échéant. D'accorder à Silva Croissance le contrat numéro C-2022-38 à cette fin, au prix unitaire soumis, soit au montant de 64 564,21 taxes incluses, conformément au document d'appel d'offres préparé pour ce contrat, et d'imputer les dépenses associées à ce contrat dans le budget de fonctionnement 2023.
Sophie?
Excusez, je propose.
Si.
J'appuie.
Demande de vote, s'il vous plaît. À l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup. Bon. Renouvellement du contrat pour la préparation et entretien des patinoires extérieures.
We submit to council to authorize an expense for the amount of $37,644.49, taxes included, for the year 2022 to execute the contract for the preparation and maintenance of the outdoor rinks, which includes as needed all accessory costs, to authorize an expense for the amount of $98,991.06, taxes included in 2023 to execute the contract for the preparation and maintenance of the outdoor rinks, which includes as needed all accessory costs, to award to Technipac 9032-2454 Quebec Inc. the contract renewal to undertake these works for the unit and lump sum prices submitted up to the amount of $136,635.55, taxes included, for the period between December 5, 2022 and March 12, 2023, in accordance with the tendering documents, and to charge the expenses related to this contract to the operating budget 2022 and operating budget 2023, for which credits will be maintained in the budget.
I move the resolution.
I second.
Thank you. May I have a vote, please? Unanimous. Thank you. Remplacement des modules de jeu Parc Gundy.
Donc, il est proposé au conseil d'autoriser une dépense de 350 000 $, taxes incluses, dans le cadre du programme triennal des immobilisations pour l'année 2022, pour le remplacement des modules de jeu au Parc Gundy, comprenant tous les frais accessoires le cas échéant, et d'accorder à la compagnie Tech Sport Incorporée le contrat portant le numéro C 2022-65 à cette fin, au prix forfaitaire soumis, soit de 339 943,36 taxes incluses, conformément au document d'appel d'offres préparé pour ce contrat, et d'imputer les dépenses de ce contrat au règlement d'emprunt E-2205 et amorti sur une période de 20 ans.
Je propose la résolution.
Merci.
Puis,
merci. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. À l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup. Bon, prochain item, remplacement des modules. Non, on a fait remplacement des modules de jeu. Désolé. Bon, on passe à. Oui. Oui, il est là. Système de pondération et d'évaluation des offres pour services professionnels, refonte du site Web.
Donc, attendu que conformément à l'article 573.1.0.1.2 de la loi sur les cités et villes, le conseil municipal doit utiliser un système de pondération et d'évaluation des offres pour l'octroi de contrats relatifs à la fourniture de services professionnels de plus de 50 000 $. Attendu que la ville utilisera un système de pondération et d'évaluation des offres dans le cadre du mandat de service professionnel pour la refonte de son site Web. Il est donc soumis au conseil d'approuver le système de pondération et d'évaluation des offres pour services professionnels en informatique dans le cadre du projet de refonte du site Web qui est joint à la présente résolution.
Je propose cette résolution.
J'appuie.
Thank you. May I have a vote, please? Passed unanimously. Supply and delivery of office products.
We submit to Council to award to the company Hamster, une marque de Novexco, the supply contract for the supply and delivery of office products for the period of November 1st, 2022 to October 31st, 2024, with the unit prices submitted for a total estimated amount of $66,505.58, taxes included, with a renewal option at the town's discretion for the period of November 1st, 2024 to October 31st, 2025, in accordance with the tendering documents for this contract, and to charge this expenditure to the operating budgets of 2022, 2023, 2024, and for the years 2023 and 2024 to maintain the credits required in the budget.
Je propose cette résolution.
Merci.
J'appuie.
Demande de vote, s'il vous plaît. À l'unanimité. Merci. Fourniture et transport de sel de déglaçage des chaussées pour l'hiver 2022-2023.
Il est donc proposé au conseil d'accorder à Mine Célène le contrat pour la fourniture et le transport de sel de déglaçage des chaussées réguliers pour la ville de Mont-Royal pour la période du 15 septembre 2022 au 30 avril 2023 au prix unitaire soumis de 119,36 par tonne métrique, taxe en su, conformément au document d'appel d'offres préparé pour cette soumission par le service d'approvisionnement de la ville de Montréal, et d'accorder à Cargill Limité le contrat pour la fourniture et le transport de sel de déglaçage pour les chaussées traitées pour la ville de Mont-Royal pour la période du 15 septembre 2022 au 30 avril 2023, au prix unitaire soumis de 102,5 la tonne métrique, taxe en su, conformément au document d'appel d'offres préparé pour cette soumission par le service d'approvisionnement de la ville de Montréal. D'autoriser la directrice générale à procéder aux achats de sel tels que requis pour combler les besoins opérationnels de la Ville, et ce, à l'intérieur du cadre financier des budgets adoptés par la Ville, le tout en conformité avec les dispositions des règlements, des politiques et des procédures de la Ville, et d'imputer les dépenses de ce contrat au budget de fonctionnement 2022 et 2023.
Je propose cette résolution.
J'appuie.
Merci. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. Adopté à l'unanimité. Merci. Prochain item, ça va être déglaçage. Voilà. Recommandation du comité consultatif d'urbanisme.
We submit to Council to approve the PIIA plans that have been the subject of a favorable recommendation from the CCU virtual meeting held on October 7, 2022. Plan number 177 Melbourne for modification of facades, subject to the following. The committee makes the following suggestions, Review the modulation of the front windows, divide them into 3 sections. Plan number 3, 789 Algonquin for extension, subject to the following. Provide a more pronounced 18-inch setback for the Norway side extension to set it apart from the main building. In Proposal B, the soldier brick detail should be provided between the junction of cladding and the brick as found on the original house. Provide windows with panes on the Norway side. If Proposal A is selected, the window sill on the Algonquin facade should be removed as it is no longer required. Plan numéro 6, 5850 Andover pour modification au PIA accepté. Plan numéro 10, 1575 Laird pour agrandissement, remplacement des fenêtres et nouveau revêtement de la toiture sous les réserves suivantes. L'option B est recevable. Ajouter des fenêtres au mur aveugle de droite de l'agrandissement au 2e étage. Carrelage devrait être tel que soumis dans les rendus 3D. Conserver les volets. Plan number 11, 1955 Hanover for rear facade modification. Plan number 12, 439 Carlisle for adding a window to a side facade. Plan number 13, 750 Lucerne for signage action sport. To refuse the PIIA plans that have been the subject of a non-favorable recommendation of the CCU at its virtual meeting held on October 7th, 2022. Plan numéro 7, 336 Ellerton pour nouveau revêtement sur 2 façades. Non favorable selon les motifs suivants. La proposition s'éloigne trop de la maison d'origine et doit être révisée en fonction des critères d'intégration définis au PIA. Fenêtre refusée, trop grande vitrine. prévoir une bonne modulation. Panneaux métalliques non recevables, conserver les volets, pas de contour de pierre. Plan number 8, 401 Brookfield, painting the residence's facade. Not favorable due to the following. The coloring is too dark.
Je propose la résolution.
Je l'appuie.
Merci beaucoup. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. Adopté à l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup. Bon. CCU members' nominations.
Oui, il est soumis au Conseil de renouveler le mandat de Mme Carmen Di Ioia, architecte, pour une période de 2 ans comme membre nommé au sein du CCU, et de nommer Mme Roula Eubry, architecte, pour une période de 2 ans comme membre nommé au sein du CCU, de verser une rémunération de 500 $ par réunion à laquelle ces membres assisteront, et de mettre fin à ces nominations à la fin du mois d'octobre 2024.
Merci.
Je propose cette résolution.
J'appuie la résolution.
Merci. Can I have a vote, please? Unanimous. Thank you. Bon. 22, lettre d'entente entre la Ville et le syndicat des fonctionnaires municipaux de Montréal.
We submit to Council to authorize the Mayor and the Town Clerk to sign on behalf of the town the Letter of Intent 2022-0001 and 2022-0002 with le Syndicat des fonctionnaires municipaux de Montréal, SCFP, with respect to the working conditions of the public security employees of Town of Mont-Royal, to authorize the Mayor and the Town Clerk to sign on behalf of the town the Letter of Intent 2022-0003 with le Syndicat des fonctionnaires municipaux de Montréal, SCFP, with respect to the working conditions of certain white-collar employees.
Thank you.
I move the resolution.
Thank you.
I second it.
Thank you. May I have a vote, please? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Adoption du règlement 1415-5, modifiant le règlement numéro 1415 sur le contrôle et suivi budgétaire en ce qui est trait au suivi et reddition de comptes budgétaires.
Attendu que, conformément à l'article 356 de la Loi sur les cités et villes, le règlement numéro 1415-5 a été précédé d'un dépôt et d'un avis de motion donné le 20 septembre 2022, il est proposé au Conseil d'adopter le règlement numéro 1415-5, modifiant le règlement 1415 sur le contrôle et le suivi budgétaire en ce qui a trait au suivi et reddition de comptes budgétaires.
Merci.
Je propose la résolution.
Merci.
J'appuie.
Merci beaucoup. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Adopté à l'unanimité. Bon. Rapport sur les décisions prises et orientations du Conseil au Conseil d'agglomération.
Whereas the Mayor must set out the position that he intends to take on the matters on the agenda of the October 27, 2022 regular sitting of the Urban Agglomeration Council and discuss that position with the other members present in order to adopt a resolution establishing the Council's stance in accordance with Section 61, second paragraph, of an act respecting the exercise of certain municipal powers in certain urban agglomerations, we submit to Council to authorize the Mayor or his representative to attend the October 27, 2022 Agglomeration Council regular meeting in order to make any decisions he deems appropriate regarding the matters presented at this meeting based on the information provided during the meeting and in the best interests of the town of Mount Royal.
Thank you.
Je propose.
Merci.
J'appuie.
Merci beaucoup. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Adopté à l'unanimité. Bon. Étant donné qu'il n'y a pas d'autres affaires diverses, on passe à la deuxième période de questions.
Bridget Mack, 900 Marlborough. Mr. Mayor, at the first question period, I should have mentioned something in regards to what Mrs. Descartes said about the state of the wreck. Residents have been complaining about the state of the wreck for 10, 15 years. I can't wrap my head around the fact that there are, and I'm not pointing the finger at anyone, but I kind of am, but I won't name anyone. There are human beings who are responsible and who are paid to walk into the wreck, walk into that hideous yellow entrance. They see that the floor is disgusting on all 3 floors. There are kids going in there, seniors, people who are somewhere in the middle, and people have been complaining for the longest time that it's filthy. Then we were going to get a wreck. We didn't. I don't want to get into a debate about that. But right now, as we speak, there is a wreck. There are townies that are going in of all ages for activities. There are babies crawling on those filthy floors. I don't understand how people who are responsible for that building are not demanding that it be cleaner and more hygienic. There's mold in there. You know, I'm the run organizer for the Terry Fox run. I went in to get stuff in the storage room. It was flooded. Half the boxes were wet. Why? My question is why?
Well, clearly the building has been identified over the past several years has been in bad shape. We all know that. It does have foundation issues. In terms of maintenance and cleanliness of the building, I know I committed to the resident who came beforehand. I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
Gals, yes.
Yeah, and we're going to look into it.
I'm just reinforcing that because it's
That's your question, why? And I'm
My
giving you an
question is
answer,
why.
and are we going to do something about it? The answer is yes. If the answer-
when? Because it's been,
Well,
residents have been.
we're going through a budget process and a PTI process this week, so we're going to be putting that into the plans, our process of our spending. We also have to look at everything else, so we're going to be looking at it. We hear the point. I mean, it's important.
Floors are clean, but they need to be washed, or is it the equipment or what? It's
Fully
totally
understand.
unacceptable.
Fully understand, yeah.
So will you follow up with us? Can I get your word that next month you'll be able to follow up and say that you've met and this is what you're going to do?
I'm hoping to be able to do that. I'm really hoping to be able to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Tanya Naeem, 235 Glengarry. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, councillors. It's actually just a small comment and not so much of a question. Garbage pickup and recycling. The trucks go, you know, don't follow certain rules on Selwood, on Woodley. They go in opposite ways. They put garbage bins upside down. We've been in contact and gotten several complaints and sent emails to Roxanne and whoever's in charge. I just think that, you know, they need to be maybe advised or told again to kind of just be careful. They go fast around the schools, you know, just to kind of be vigilant, just like we're all told to be. It's just nice to reiterate that and maybe just give them a warning before the winter months come. That's all.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again from 1405 Chamalisan. I just wanted to reiterate one more time, and I heard you respond about the cleanliness, and I think all of us as a community understand that the rec is an old building, and we have no complaints about that. We want a better building, but I think, like cleaning the floor, you said I will try to address it. It seems like an easy issue. We're parents there every day. I have an 18 months crawled in there on the floor, she was saying. I would be willing to volunteer time and come do it. It's surprising that it's not an issue that can be addressed in a month, and you come back and say, yes, the rec is going to try to maintain a cleaner floor. It seems like a rather easy issue. I'm just wondering why it seems like there's so many procedures that you can guarantee that by the next month.
Well, I think first of all, I'm not going to take an emotional stance on this. I'm going to take a logical stance, and I'm going to say, you know what? Let's take a look and examine what is going on there. Let's see what the real problems are. I'm hearing them from yourself. I'm hearing them from Mrs. Mack. And what I want to do is make sure that we look at it and we make sure that we address the issues that are very important to the residents and how they're using the building. That's all.
Well, I think the reason why a lot of people are emotional is because I'm not sure if you go there daily and you're forced to kind of interact in that recreational center every single day, and that's why it becomes an issue. We weren't that emotional, but when things...
No, but I mean to say, your expectation is it should be done tomorrow like this. I'm not saying no to that. What I'm saying is I have to find out what are all the facts. I hear you tonight for the first time, then I'll find out. Did I used to go there all the time? Yes, I have 5 children. I was there all the time, but that was years ago.
Years ago, okay.
Okay, so, and believe me, it had its issues then too. But I'm going to look into it for sure. I got your point.
And I think that's why the committee, like you said, you don't want a place for people to vent, but I think mothers with multiple kids don't like wasting time, and we would get things organized and done rather fast. So maybe if you give us an opportunity and set it up, you'll see if it's a waste of time or actually we can get somewhere.
That's why I asked you for your list, which you had agreed to before when you came up.
I know you're putting it back on us to try to solve the wreck situation.
No, I'm not
and
trying
we'll
to.
do it.
No, I'm asking you for your list of concerns that are important to you, because what may be important to you may be different when somebody else is looking at it. You know what I mean? So it's what's important to you. I want to hear about it.
And we've sent it to the rec.
That's the most important, right? Isn't it you who are the users who feel like there's something wrong? Tell us what it is. I don't want to guess wrong, is what I'm saying. I don't want to look and say, well, this is important, but that's not as important. But you may say, well, that's really important, and that's not so important. So I want to see which.
We're pretty straightforward with what.
Yeah, what your priorities are. And I'm a big believer, give somebody who's busy something to do, it always gets done.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, you're welcome.
Bonjour. Donc, je repensais à votre réponse tout à l'heure à ma question, et qui était par rapport aux espaces verts. Compte tenu qu'il reste juste 2 sites.
Désolé, madame, c'est juste pour le fait de... parce qu'on documente ces sessions. Votre nom encore?
Ah, pardon, OK, je l'avais dit tout à l'heure. OK, donc mon nom est Karine Aloul, au 2325 chemin Fleming. OK. Donc, ma question, c'est compte tenu que vous mentionnez que les 2 sites zonés institutionnels sont peut-être vendus ou partiellement alloués, là, si on avait à bâtir une résidence pour personnes âgées ou des bâtiments qui ont un rôle pour la collectivité de Ville-Mont-Royal, où est-ce qu'on trouverait les terrains actuellement?
Je n'ai pas de réponse pour vous, parce que je sais qu'il y avait 2 ans ou 3 ans ou 4 ans, je ne me rappelle plus, qu'il y avait un projet de bâtir des résidences pour des personnes âgées sur Brittany, je crois, je ne suis pas sûr, dans ce secteur-là. Et puis, c'était opposé par des résidents dans le secteur. Alors, je ne peux pas vous répondre.
OK.
Je n'ai pas de réponse, je n'ai pas eu de demande.
Est-ce qu'il reste des terrains à bâtir pour des bâtiments qui ont une portée collective pour l'ensemble des citoyens de Ville-Mont-Royal?
J'espère, mais je ne le sais pas. Ce n'est pas à Ville-Mont-Royal d'être des développeurs. C'est vraiment à Ville-Mont-Royal de gérer les terrains qui font partie de Ville-Mont-Royal. Les autres développements, ce n'est pas à Ville-Mont-Royal de bâtir une bâtisse. Est-ce qu'il y a des terrains qui sont disponibles? Est-ce que vous me demandez la question?
Peut-être c'est moi qui ne comprends pas non plus tous les fonctionnements de la ville, mais en tant que résident, je me dis, on a besoin de quelque chose pour les personnes âgées. Est-ce que ce n'est pas le rôle de Ville-Mont-Royal de décider de ça et d'aller chercher des entrepreneurs?
Pas nécessairement. Si on avait des terrains vacants que Ville-Mont-Royal voulait vendre, on le met sur le marché, on décide qu'est-ce qu'on veut faire avec le terrain. Disons si on a un terrain libre et on dit, bon, on devrait le développer, on a pris une décision, on veut avoir un espace pour des personnes âgées. Dans ce cas-là, oui, on va mettre ça sur le marché parce qu'on a mis dans cette décision, je veux dire, des paramètres en place pour comment est-ce que ce terrain devrait être développé. Mais pour le moment, nous n'avons pas de terrain disponible à vendre.
OK. Donc, d'où ma question de qu'est-ce qu'on va faire pour la préservation des espaces verts, compte tenu qu'il reste peu.
C'est ça.
OK, merci.
Merci. Bon, alors ça termine la deuxième période de questions. Alors, je propose, on va faire le lever de la séance.
Je propose à lever la séance.
Merci.
J'appuie.
Demande de vote, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Adopté à l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup à tout le monde. Merci à tout le monde qui visionnent la séance en direct. Et bonne soirée.
Tu vas lire, Daniel.